This release, the Rutherfords we have is, basically our co-fermentation of Black Tuesday and wine grapes. This one is Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Petite Sirah, and Carignane grapes. And this beer is significant because it rounds out our Rutherford series, if you will. I think really the special part about this beer is how collaborative the vineyard experience was. This isn't a collab beer in any way where it's on the label as being a collaboration with any one winery, but it was a collaboration with a select vineyard site. And this vineyard site is in the Rutherford AVA in Napa Valley, and it's called the BV1 Vineyard, the BV1 Experimental Vineyard Site. And this is the vineyard site that Patrick Rue and I walked about 5 years ago. And it's an experimental vineyard site because every 4 rows is a different trellis system. So essentially what you have is a whole vineyard of them showing you how you can grow grapes differently. So it'll be the same grapes, same Cabernet, same clone of grapes, this 4 rows, on a VSP trellis system, and then the next one on a bilateral trellis system, and the next one on a quadrilateral trellis system. And that's a whole other thing. Tune in for the next video on grape growing and trellis systems. But it's really kind of a really cool thing to see. And it's a very old vineyard. So we're talking 100-year-old vines. This is a very old Napa Valley vineyard. Is not necessarily known for having the best grapes in the world. That's not what the vineyard's about. But the vineyard's about showing how these grapes perform, as being trained differently. And so really it's all about training the viticulturalists, the people that are coming and taking care and managing this vineyards and planting vineyards. They get to go there and see all this stuff. The pieces of the other 2 projects that made this. And so with that, since this was harvested and made at the same time, essentially this is aged more, right? This is aged more in barrels. So this is a total of, 2.5 years at this point where we're at with age with this bottle. It's using Thomas Rutherford and the other 2 grape varieties, and Thomas Rutherford had some Elizabeth Rutherford in it. So anyway, fantastic little story, right? But it's all about what's in the glass, right? So as you'll see, very dark in color. Petite Sirah is always known to be a very, very dark red grape. Carignane is going to bring a lot of old world body to it. And then you have your Cab Sauv and your Cab Franc, which everybody should know. Those are, I would say everybody should know. If you don't know, try this beer, you'll figure it out. But anyway, co-fermented with Black Tuesday, and then again, aged in French oak puncheons. So we take wood very seriously at the brewery. And when you spend a lot of money on Napa type fruit, you're always gonna wanna put that into new wood. So the new wood is the big deal here. And aged 2.5 years in that wood is pretty remarkable. So a lot of tannins, a lot of vanillin, a lot of oak on the nose. Much like Peter Veeder, which came out about 6 months ago, this beer does finish a little bit sweet. So it's a little bit sweeter than Thomas and Elizabeth Rutherford, meaning that it's not as dry. So fuller bodied, a little bit more residual sugar, not nuanced at all. This is an aggressive beer, wine hybrid. It is not nuanced. It's all about, which is, why the brewery and Napa Valley work so well together.